Good morning and welcome to Fraud Watch Friday, AARP, Kansas. I'm Rick Gibson. I'm a volunteer with Fraud Watch Network for AARP, and I'm here to talk about scams and frauds that may affect you or that you at least should be aware of. The first week of March was Consumer Protection Week, and AARP is concerned about consumer protection year-round, every day, but Consumer Protection Week is a good time to review basics of how you might protect yourself from scams. One of the things that you should do always is never ever give out any personal or financial information over the phone or on the internet. It's so easy to do if some scammer is asking for your social security number, your telephone number, any kind of personal information. You don't want to do that. You don't want to click on any link that you don't know where it came from, that you don't know where it's safe to click. And if something seems to be too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Those sound like very simple, easy kinds of things, but I'll tell you, at certain times when you're in a certain emotional state, it's very, very easy to just slip up and let personal things slip out. You don't want to do that. One of the things that you need to be aware of is that scammers were giving out a lot of fake cures and treatments and vaccines before the real COVID vaccines came out. And now that people are signing up for COVID vaccines, they're finding that there are a lot of scams and frauds that affect that signing up process. They ask you for personal information that you give readily because you think you're talking to some government agency. They will tell you that they can move you to the front of the line for a certain price. They will set up some kind of fake distribution site for you to go to, and after you pay your money, you may or may not get a shot, but if you do get a shot, it's probably not of the authentic vaccine. So you want to be very careful that you follow the guidance of local public health officials when you get your vaccine. You want to get the vaccine, that's a good thing, but you want to be sure that it's authentic vaccine. And while we're talking about COVID, we probably need to talk about debt relief scams. Debt relief scams are really, really rampant right now because a lot of people are unemployed or they've had through something to do with the pandemic. They have found themselves in debt and not a way out. And scammers know that. They follow the headlines every time. And once they find out that there's someone who is economically strapped or financially disabled in some way, they offer help with that. They will offer to remove bankruptcies for you, to take care of liens and bad loans, take those off your record. They would like to erase your credit history for you. Those are things that really cannot be done. You need to know that no one can remove information from your credit report if it's correct and timely, and they will often try to improve your credit rating. Things like bankruptcy and significant debt are usually on your credit record for up to 10 years. Now, you can address it, you can improve it if you go about it the right way. And the right way would be to look for someone who is authentic in being able to help you with your debt history. Your bank, your local bank would be a good place to start. Some place that really can authentically help you get back on track is a good thing. Someplace that offers for money to get you back on track is not a good thing. It's a scam every time. If you are scammed at some time or another, or if you feel that you've been taken advantage of unfairly, you need to, first of all, report that to the police, and second of all, call or write the AARP Fraud Watch Network. There's a number scrolling across the bottom of the screen, 877-908-3360. Oh, and there's also a website, aarp.org, Fraud Watch Network. And if you, through either one of those, if you report the scam, they sometimes might be able to help you, but more often than not, you're helping them by making that report. That report helps them keep track of what kinds of scams are happening in what places. And it's very, very helpful to AARP and their efforts through the Fraud Watch Network to keep track of things that are going on and to know what kinds of scams are happening today, because they change almost daily. So be sure you report both to the police and to AARP. Another kind of scam is, it has to do with that, well, actually, I want to talk about the numbers that are involved in scams first before we talk about the next scam. The numbers for 2019 were pretty high. They were in the billions of dollars of people who were taken advantage of, but the numbers for 2020 are even higher. COVID and the economic downturn seemed to be one of the reasons why they were higher. Criminals thrive in times of confusion, and 2020 was a perfect storm of confusion. The actual numbers for 2019 were something around $2 billion, and $2 billion is quite a bit of money that was lost through frauds and scams. But the reported losses in 2020 were more than $3.3 billion. So there's been a considerable increase. It's very, very important that we avoid answering calls from unknown phone numbers, clicking on links that we don't know where they came from, or we think that they're to some special advantage that we might have, but they're from a stranger. Answering texts and emails that are really from strangers. They're not someone we know already. The best thing to do with all of that stuff is just either hang up or click off or do whatever you need to do to get away from that site. And then if it's something you really want to follow up on, call the people they purport to be from. If they say they're from your bank, call your bank. If they say that they're from the US government or the Social Security office, call those offices on an authentic number that you get from the web or somewhere else that you know is really their number, and find out, ask them, are you really offering this? Is this really taking place for you? There are a lot of online banking scams going on. They have gone on for a long, long while. And although banking has changed, and a lot of it is internet banking now, instead of brick and mortar banking, we still do some things personally. We still write checks of some sort. We still do things that are easy to scam us on. A lot of times a banking scam will start with a phone call or an email or a text that will tell you there's something wrong with your account. And they need your Social Security number to straighten it out, or they have to have your account number to confirm that it's you, or they direct you to click a link that would take you to a certain site where you can sort this out, or they will tell you that you have to call this number in order to straighten it out, and if you don't straighten it out in a certain amount of time, then this penalty is going to be applied. They will ask frequently for your Social Security number. They will ask for your account password. They'll ask for other personal information. One thing you really need to know about banking scams is that no bank is ever going to call you out of the blue and say there's a problem with your account. They will get a hold of you through the mail. They will call you and say, you seem to have some sort of a problem with your account. If you will call us back at a certain number, and you can check if that number is authentic or not, they'll take care of it in a much more professional way. They won't ask for any social security number, any account number over the internet. These are really just a few of the scams that are going on now, and the best protection is for you to be alert and aware. We say at AARP frequently, be a fraud fighter. If you can spot a scam, you can stop a scam. I'm hoping that this broadcast will help you to spot scams so that you can stop those scams. We'd like to see those numbers decrease instead of increase, and they will if you really remain alert. I'm Rick Gibson from Fraud Watch Network, AARP Kansas, and thanks for watching.